ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, dear friends, dear co-travelers, dear spiritual aspirants, dear human beings who are in search of the Parama Purushartha Moksha, who are in search of your own great higher nature. Welcome back to our continuing study of the pages from Poojya Swamiji's, Poojya Swami Dayananda Saraswati's Geetha home study. We are in a very, very interesting and important section of the context of the Bhagavad Gita, in which Pujya Swamiji was talking about the split between the thinker and the doer. The personality split between the thinker, what you think, and what you do in life is what Pujya Swamiji was talking to us about. And we ended the last capsule with this particular important sentence that Pujya Swamiji had to tell us, and that is that you never rub against anything without getting rubbed in the process. Needs to be well understood. Let us take our journey forward and see what Pujya Swamiji has to share with us. Pujya Swamiji goes on to say that every gain implies a loss. Having understood that you cannot rub against the moral order without being rubbed in the process, it takes even more understanding to know exactly how much you lose by performing certain actions. It becomes a matter of self esteem. What kind of self esteem can there be when a division has been created between the thinker and the doer? Sooner than later, you will conclude that you are worthless. Because the chasm between the thinker and the doer starts to become wider and wider. This process can be seen when you make a very simple resolution, such as tomorrow I am going to get up early in the morning at 6 o'clock, and I am going to meditate for half an hour. You have decided that to begin the day with some kind of meditation is good, and this is what you want to do. Therefore, you are going to get up half an hour earlier than usual and meditate. Whose decision is this? It is not someone else's, it is yours. You even set your alarm clock to ring at 6 o'clock, and it does. In fact, it never stops. It goes on beeping, beeping, and beeping. Then what do? Annoyed, you turn the alarm off and go back to sleep, isn't it? Do you know why? Because the one who made the decision last night to get up half an hour earlier did not consult the one who had to wake up the next morning. This is like a husband making a decision to go on a weekend family trip without informing or consulting his wife. The decision to wake up earlier was made by someone who thinks and figures things out. Whereas I am the one who has to get up. Therefore, you had better consult me before you decide anything. Between husband and wife, there can be some consultation. But when I am thinking that I will get up half an hour earlier, the waker is not there to be consulted. Here is a real problem because the waker is also me. While this plight looks very simple, it is actually a very complex issue. The split between the one who thinks and knows and the one who does is a very self detrimental split, one that eventually and naturally leads to self condemnation. One needs to really stop oneself to think about such things. Looks very simple though, but very profound when one lives a very purposeful life. This is how one learns to live a purposeful life, conscious life. If you tell me to do something and I decide not to do it, it is quite different from when I tell myself to do something and I cannot do it. Once, twice, or thrice is not a problem. But when I cannot conform to my own decisions more times than not, what self esteem will I have? If it happens only once, I can always justify not having done something. But if I do it consistently, then I cannot have any self esteem. And without self esteem, no one can really help me. Even the Lord cannot boost me up because intrinsically I have a problem. Therefore, I am the loser. If I am together as a person, I can enjoy sports and a variety of other situations that do not cost money. I can even enjoy myself, which also does not cost money. Whereas, if in the process of gaining money, I lose myself, the transaction is definitely a bad bargain. To know this about myself is education. It is growing up. Who then can afford not to have such knowledge? Since I have a faculty of choice, I must necessarily exercise that choice. I must know the norms which are the basis upon which I choose. These norms are known to me by my own common sense. The only education needed with regard to them is an understanding of what I lose when I gain something. In a so called gain, I should be able to see how much I lose. If I do not lose, then the gain is truly a gain and is worthwhile. Whereas if I lose, the gain is not worthwhile. Therefore, the means that one follows in gaining one's ends are very important. Let me reread that sentence. Therefore, the means that one follows in gaining one's ends are very important. I don't know really how much slower I should read these portions. I'm being very, very deliberate, as you must have observed already. I'm being very deliberate and very slow in reading out such portions so that it will help to sink these well thought out ideas into our very subconscious. Hereafter, Poojya Swamiji is going to talk to us about the significance of battle in the Bhagavad Gita, which we will start to explore in the following capsules. Hari Om.